Hey guys, good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here, and I'm taking full advantage of my social distancing. Um, One of the most important things, I don't know if I mentioned it in my video yesterday, but one of the things I've learned in the last 13 years with recovery is, especially these first 3 days, when you're trying to set a new routine, a new schedule, the first days are the most important because more than likely that's what's going to continue. Um, we're creatures of habit, and what we do those first 3 days to 4 or 5 days is more than likely what we're going to continue doing. So my point here is sleeping in late and binge watching, binge watching Breaking Bad all afternoon, and napping and eating bags of Doritos. Probably not the best thing to do. That's more than weight gain. That's probably going to result in pretty severe depression. This morning I got up at 3. Oh man, I can't even list all the stuff I did. I started a painting. It's a waterfall at sunset. I did another 10-minute video I produced this morning for YouTube. I made myself a good breakfast of waffles, eggs, and sausage. I lifted weights for 2 hours. I did a load of laundry, made my bed, cleaned the whole house, vacuumed, did the dishes. I'm sure there's more. Oh, I took out the garbage. And it's 11 a.m. right now. Okay, enough about that. So, yeah, setting a tight routine is always a good thing to keep your spirits up. Just, I'm sure most of you already know that, but I want to talk about chloroquine phosphate, Trump's wonder drug. It's actually resulted. I'll just say it flat out, his big mouth has resulted in at least one death in Arizona. Apparently they were husband and wife, both Trump supporters. I'm not sure right now if the husband was sick. And apparently there's chloroquine phosphate, and this is the rough chemical version of this substance. I believe what he was taking was more intended for cleaning out fish tanks than it was for human ingestion. So that right there was a mistake. But what his wife said is they were listening to Donald Trump. Donald Trump was so sure that this was a cure, and the wife is very distraught now because the husband is dead. I mean, their blame can go all around for it's not too smart to ingest something you clean the fish tanks with. But then again, Trump supporters we're talking about here. So anyway, I saw in Nigeria the same thing's happening with that specific substance, the rough chemical version of the chloroquine. And I believe it's in Pakistan. That substance, and I guess the pharmaceutical version. I don't know if it's chloride. I don't know if it's the actual medical version that's used to treat malaria, is selling out. Another thing with Trump, acting like he's invented this drug, like he's the Madame Curie of COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? Like that's looking across Facebook. That's how his supporters are calling it too. I've seen a few posts too about a man in Florida supposedly a miraculous recovery due to Donald Trump saves this man's life with the chloroquine. Um, Personally, I think again his big mouth is going to be causing so much. Let's just say if this drug is let's just say it is the miracle drug. What he's doing here is he's going to make a run on this drug. It's going to create a shortage before this drug can even get out to help people. Companies and profit seekers will start stockpiling it. They probably already are. Start stockpiling the hell out of this. and the price will go through the roof. And of course, and this is if it actually did work. Again, it's only going to be super wealthy people that will get this cure, more than likely. I was reading up on the drug. I'm no medical professional, as we all know. I was reading up on it, and it's used to cure malaria. And I was reading up on malaria just a little bit. Malaria is a very serious virus, or I'm not, to be totally honest with you, I'm not sure if it's a virus or a bacteria. But millions of people die still now each year from malaria, from mostly in Africa, from mosquito bites. All right. But what it said there too is you got to remember when you have a drug that you're prescribing for a disease, sometimes that drug itself is dangerous. You have to weigh the disease against the cure. What I'm saying here is this chloroquine has got some hideous side effects. When I was reading, it had a long list from headaches and temporary blindness, losing your hair. Some of the most scary ones were tics, arm movements, arm twitching, facial twitching, tongue sticking out of the mouth. I swear to God, you can look it up yourself on WebMD. Nausea, vomiting. Like I said, one of the most scariest ones was the skin loosening up, blisters, peeling of the skin, yellowing of the skin. Now, like I was saying, this is a harsh drug, and it has harsh effects on the human body. It's used for malaria because malaria is still a very severe, dangerous disease. Like I was saying, so they weigh the if you got very little chance of surviving and you have malaria, why not give you you're going to give you this dangerous drug because your chances are pretty shot anyway. So what I'm saying here is this. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but what I'm guessing here is this is not the drug that you just want to take as a preventative. I forgot what the word's called. Prophylactic measure. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but you know what I'm saying. It's not something that you just want to take if you're healthy. That's my guess, my opinion, from what I've read about the drug, malaria. Like I said, and then there's a version of this drug, a chemical composition that's not even a pharmaceutical. It's just made to clean fish tanks, and people don't know. People get on here and they don't do any research. They believe every word that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth, and we have at least one dead person in Arizona right now as a direct result of Donald Trump and his hunches. I can't tell you guys what I saw today. Like I said, there's no more Dr. Fauci, and I was reading up on that too. Basically, it's what we thought. It's Trump's ego. Trump does not like the idea that Fauci was correcting him, and they especially Trump has to commandeer all the attention, all the all the applause and all that. And Fauci and the people's apparently people trusted Fauci, and Trump could not let that go on. So he's no longer in the briefings. It just goes to show what kind of I think anybody with even a small amount of understanding on human behavior. I don't understand how other people can look at him as a leader. I don't see it. Then just one other note I was reading about Trump complaining that he didn't even get a thank you because he donated 3 months salary to COVID-19, and he didn't even get a thank you for that. And then there were some more comments too that he almost sounded disappointed that there was considerably less reporters in his briefings. Usually he complains. He talks about kicking all the reporters out. But when they're not there and there's not as much attention, even negative attention, you could tell he misses it. Um, he's not a not a well man. He's not a confident man in my book. But anyway, it scared the hell out of me that he's talking about a week or two to stop this social distancing. One of the best things I heard was that Trump himself didn't actually close anything down. And when it comes to reopening stuff, it's going to be the governors that are going to be responsible for that. The governors of New York. When Wall Street reopens again, it's going to be Governor Cuomo's decision to open up New York and Wall Street, not Donald Trump's. Same thing with California. So that gives me a little solace, a little comfort. Because as we know, I think Trump is just looking to, he's just thinking about money and the stock market, his profits, his buddies, the people from his club, Mar-a-Lago, their profits, and his own reelection, and his ego. That's those. If that isn't obvious to almost all Americans right now, there's no hope for any of you. If anything was sent from God, I know Trump supporters say, "Oh, Trump was sent from God." If anything was sent from God, it was this is a freaking wake-up call that Trump is not cut out to be president. How about that? All right, I'm going to go enjoy the sun, my social distancing. You guys have a great Tuesday. Try to stay healthy.